Do you think that someone who is unvaccinated should have a tracking device on them?
I think that is a step too far in compromising personal freedom and liberty. Personally.
Warning, censorship.
This is Lewis Brackpool for Rebel News, and what if I told you that flight attendants are being forced to wear a type of tracking device on their wrist if they leave their hotel after a quarantine? You'd probably think that I'm a conspiracy theorist. That's usually the word that gets thrown about a lot.
We're seeing a lot of people fall prey to disinformation, and if these and others want to start talking about conspiracy theories, well, that's their choice.
Well, today in this report, I have an exclusive photograph that was taken of a flight attendant who was en route after their shift and was forced to wear a type of tracking device with a QR code. Okay, so I'd like you to take a look at this image for yourself. So as you can see there, you can see the white wristband around this person's wrist with a QR code on it. And of course a little symbol above. That's the symbol of the Barbados flag. And I want to go towards the caption that this person put up. It says, "Now, fast forward, and here are the second-class citizens of 2020 and 2021. Discrimination, bullying, denied basic human rights." It says, "Yes, that's a tracker on my wrist because I refuse to comply with their tyranny, lies, and scaremongering tactics. Tagged like a dog, tagged like cattle, tagged like the poor Jews from World War II. If we are not careful, the history will very easily repeat itself." Now, I've gone to question this individual on this photograph, but they unfortunately haven't been responsive on this. I understand if I used to be a flight attendant myself, so I understand the rules and regulation on speaking to the press, but this isn't on. And if anyone has more information upon this, please get in touch with me at lewis.brackpool@rebelnews.com. Whether this has been happened to you, that you're a flight attendant or you know of someone, you need to start presenting this forward, and your identity is completely protected here at Rebel News. We of course conceal that identity because we don't want you getting in trouble. Rebel News have started a pandemic whistleblowers campaign to help us bring truth to the public. And just a little bit more about it, at Rebel News we do appreciate the bravery of anyone who has come forward with information. And that's why we created an intake form for whistleblowers to come forward and expose some important details about lockdowns, restrictions, vaccines, and even healthcare. So if you are a pandemic whistleblower, inside government, law enforcement, inside a business, a hospital, care home, pharmaceutical company, or even a laboratory, and have information you think the public must know about, please fill out this form on this page here. Thank you very much. I, of course, in conversation with British Airways, and I've also emailed Virgin Atlantic on getting their take on this image and whether it is policy for these airlines to implement or to let this even happen to their own employees. Now, British Airways have gotten back to me and said that they need to investigate this further, so hopefully this will sort itself out very soon. But it is a big concern because if flight attendants, whether they've had the vaccine or not, are going to be tracked outside of their hotel, this is against basic human rights. You shouldn't be treated like cattle. And from other sources, this person has actually had one dose of the vaccine. So it's not a case of whether you've had the vaccine or not, or this is just mistreatment of someone who is unvaccinated. This is happening to someone who's even had the vaccine. But I think it's a serious message to airline staff or anyone else in other workforces that if this does continue to happen, that we are going to see a long, winding road towards more totalitarianism and other mistreatment of basic human rights. So if you think that this will only apply to workers such as flight attendants, unfortunately you are mistaken. This is happening to visitors when they arrive at the island's airport. You can see by this image here a red wristband saying, "Welcome to Barbados, stay safe at your hotel." The same wristband underneath this other image, underneath a tracker. The blog states they were met by an airport concierge who then tied a red bracelet. They were told then to line up in a single file. So I had to stand behind my husband even if we were together. And it says, "I suppose it was because it made it easier for them to spot if each passenger has a wristband bracelet." We had our valid negative COVID-19 PCR test results and certificate to present to the first health screening. Now back to this tracking device. It's actually being programmed by a application called BimSafe. So it says here to download and install the BimSafe app on your mobile phone, and this is a mandatory requirement that has recently been introduced way back into February 2021 for monitoring and tracking each visitor to Barbados. And a bit more information, it says BimSafe is a location and symptoms monitoring mobile app developed by the Ministry of Health and Wellness to assist in the prevention of the spread of COVID-19 in Barbados. And upon more investigation, you can find out that this BimSafe technology is from the UK. And the website, as you can see, is here. And all more information about what this application does and how it works. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all. I don't really need to make that any clearer. But it's quite a scary prospect that you could be tracked and monitored if you're unvaccinated. We now know after the booster rollout, anyone who is double vaccinated, that status is now meaningless. It doesn't mean anything anymore. Do you think we're going to see future development of tracking devices here in the UK? Let me know what you think. And if you know anyone who has experienced using these tracking devices, please do not hesitate to confidentially get in touch with me at lewis.brackpool@rebelnews.com. So please get in touch and we'll look to investigate this further. So this has been Lewis Brackpool for Rebel News. Thank you. Rebel News have started a pandemic whistleblowers campaign to help us bring truth to the public. And just a little bit more about it, at Rebel News we do appreciate the bravery of anyone who has come forward with information. And that's why we created an intake form for whistleblowers to come forward and expose some important details. Please fill out this form on this page here. Thank you very much.